Hey, girl, hey. I am Marquila. I am the CEO of The Fake That It, which is a boutique author concierge. We make the journey of a book luxurious. I'm also the author of Snap Out of It, Kingdom Women Don't Play Small. And this channel is called The Confidence Quest. I'm so grateful that you joined me. I am going to get into all of the things, but before I do any of that, I want to stop and ask you guys to join my family. If you've reached this video and if I drop a nugget or I share something or a gem that resonates with you, I'd love for you to make it official. Stay connected to your girl. We are going to be sharing information about personal, professional, and spiritual development over here on this site. And if you know anything about your girl, when I discuss all of those things, I really am also going to be discussing luxury, confidence, and faith. But in order to get to the luxury, you got to get the coins to afford it. And in order to get to the place where your faith can be strong, you have to build up your faith muscles. And confidence, I believe, is a part of your faith muscle. And so, yeah, on this page, we'll be talking about all of those things. Welcome to the Confidence Quest. I'm so excited to meet you. Let's get into the video. I am not going to stress myself about transitions. Your girl is not going to stress myself about editing because y'all, I've recorded this video now 7 times because I just recorded it twice. And my phone, my computer was acting crazy. My phone was acting crazy and stopped recording. We just got all the things. And so I have decided, okay, that we're not going to let anything be a barrier between us and execution. And so much of what we're going to get into today is about not letting things get in the way of you executing. And one of the things that this channel is going to really focus on moving forward is how to execute. How do you become? How do you actually take the steps necessary to walk into who it is that God has called you to be? And YouTube has always been something that I wanted to do. I started a YouTube in 2015 and again in 2017, 2018. I've been trying to start a YouTube for the longest. And at the top of this year, YouTube videos were something that I wanted to be doing consistently, not only to get you guys information about my book, but also just to step into this thing that I love to do, which is just to kind of like share and have conversations and discourse. And I've had such a hard time this year actually executing this channel. And when I went to God, and I'll say this, I'm a person who's naturally harebrained, but I'm also kind of anal. I am naturally kind of laissez-faire, but at the same time, certain things really do matter to me. So there are times in my life where I'm like, it's not a big deal. But there are other times in my life where I'm like, no, this is a non-negotiable. And this YouTube channel is absolutely one of those things. And I was just having a hard time executing. And I tell my clients this all the time. And you about to become one of my friends. So I'm going to tell you this too. Like when you're in the process of actually becoming, especially if you're an author and you're writing a book about a specific topic, you'll get tested in that thing. So, of course, my book is about execution and authority. And so I've struggled so much with execution and authority as I've written this book. And the reason is because that's what the book is about. And so you have to get the experience. You have to, in order to be an expert, you got to be in the mud. So I went to God and I'm like, okay, Lord, like I'm really struggling to do what it is that I need to do. And I was really trying to figure out like, what is the barrier? Because with my clients, I do obstacle planning, and we'll talk all about that in this channel. But with my clients, we do obstacle planning, and I'm like, Lord, what's the barrier? And one of the biggest things that I can say that and I do mean like over the weekend, today is Monday, April 15th, over the weekend, God gave me some revelation and some clarity and some genuine deliverance in. It's like how much of what I was doing, I was really giving to God. Like how much of what I was attaining to was really about what God wanted for me. And I think YouTube in specific, one of the reasons why it's been so difficult for me to be consistent in YouTube is just because I hadn't yet figured out like what about YouTube matters to the king. Why do I need to be doing this in the kingdom? Because yes, I knew I could make videos and get views, but it was like, well, what's the point? And over this past weekend, not just even with YouTube, but just a lot of the stuff that I've been called to do, God has dealt with me about why it has to be executed and why I have to give him glory and why I have to return the focus back to him. So this very first video of the Snap Out of It series is all about how to make sure that your personal, your professional, and your spiritual development does not turn the self into an idol, and how to go about personal, professional, and spiritual development so that your life can move closer to what it is that God showed you. I'm going to try to make these videos quick enough so that you can digest them in one sitting. I'm also going to be transparent. Some of these videos may be a little long. I also will be transparent about the format. These videos will not always be just me sitting down with a microphone. Sometimes they might be me in my car. I may not always have a cute little something going on with my face or my hair. Well, my hair is going to be in braids. We'll talk about that in a second. But I just don't want to set the expectation for anything other than me coming here and discussing personal, professional, and spiritual development and what is going on in my own personal, professional, and spiritual development when I come on this channel. One of the biggest barriers between me and my execution of this goal of mine is how much perfectionism has got in my way. Like I said, I've recorded this video 7 times. This day specifically twice. And it's because I have in my head this perspective of like what my channel should look like, you know, the aesthetic. And I don't really have an aesthetic. Can I tell y'all, I am nobody's like videography queen or like, no. When it comes down to branding and marketing and like just copy, your girl is good. But I'm nobody's videographer or like, you know, content creator queen. And it's because, to be honest, right, I have all of these barriers of execution. So one of the things that I just have decided specifically with YouTube is that I will not get wrapped up in the how or, you know, all of the nuance of the what, but I would just be really focused on the why, right? Like, I know why I'm supposed to be on YouTube. I know why I'm supposed to be expressing what is in my life and what's happening in my life so that I can help other women actualize. And so because of that, you know, I don't want to make promises on how often I'll make these videos or what these videos will look like. Girl, I'm just going to be here, okay? And I'm going to share with you my very honest truth. But now that I've gotten across the disclaimers and I've given you my little spiel, let's get into the 5 things that you can expect from Markeela on this channel. Number 1, you can expect that I will be sharing the journey of writing my book. My book is publishing June 20th. I am in the throes of finishing writing the book. And anyone who knows me knows that I really like to tell my clients that it takes about 6 to 8 months to actually write a book. I myself am a writer. I'm a ghostwriter. I'm an editor. So I've written countless books. But my own book, y'all, it is not very easy to write this thing. So one of the biggest things that you guys can expect to get on this journey is the actual writing process, because I'm still writing my book. It's April 15th. So I've given myself the deadline of April 30th in order to finish the actual copy, the writing, the manuscript, if you will. And then all of those bits and bobs like production and things like that we'll work on as well. So the biggest thing that this Snap Out of It series will be about is my book and the process of my book. The second thing that you can expect from this channel is talking about elevating your life, but like the actual doing. Sometimes when I come on these channels that talk about like personal and professional and spiritual development, they're coming from the place of like, oh, I did it, right? And while I am for sure not the same person that I was even January 1st, 2024, while there's so many ways that I have, you know, elevated my life and grown as a person, I still very much so have huge strides that I want to take this year, even in my business, ways that I want to grow my business. And so this is a like elevate your life journey, but like, can we do it together? Can we kiki together? Like, girl, I'm not coming from the seat of like the guru or the expert. Not in development, because I have just found that sometimes those videos can make you have a spirit of jealousy or a spirit of comparison. They can make you genuinely struggle with feeling like you're good enough or like you can execute. And I found that I am a much better coach and I can help my clients have much better transformation when I myself am in the trenches with them, fighting and being a soldier alongside of them, than it is with me like wagging a finger and telling them what to do. So the second thing you can expect, well, on top of me talking about the actual journey of my book, is you can also expect this series to help you learn how to execute and grow in your life, as I grow in my life. I'll share things that I'm doing. I'll give tips and tricks. And then I'll also, probably a couple times a month in this space, just do full on co-working videos where you can click on this video and work alongside me in some of the things that I'm doing in my business and in my book, and in my book business. Number three, you can expect this to be really deeply rooted in God and in faith. Personal and professional and spiritual development outside of the context of Jesus Christ is vain. But when we grow and develop and become, because we want to give glory to Jesus and because we want to step into the calling on our lives, when we live our lives in the context of, I want to be worthy of Jesus's sacrifice, there's just much more power and depth and value that is rooted in everything that we do. And so I spent a lot of time this year trying to get myself to a place where I could even get here on camera, right? And I think a lot of it was about having a struggle with how much of my personal and professional and spiritual development was really being returned back to God. And I said this today on my walk, and in my private time with myself. You know, idolatry does not come because you like all of a sudden believe something other than God, or you all of a sudden use something as a path to God. Idolatry comes small. It comes incremental. And so I think for a little piece there, I had the idol of the self. And so we really will discuss like personal, professional, and spiritual development. But I'm going to always and consistently, especially in my book and even in this conversation, right, return people back to understanding that we don't turn the self into an idol. We don't make this desire of us to operate in God's purposes or in his will. We don't make our own part of the puzzle more important than God's plan and God as a whole. And when we're clear on the fact that our personal and professional and spiritual development always leads back to the love of Jesus Christ, then everything that we do will lead back to the love of Jesus Christ, and people's lives can genuinely be changed, and people can look at our lives and not just say, oh, she has nice things, but they can say like, hey, there's something special about her. And when they look underneath the rug, it should be Jesus Christ and not like, you know, your hustle or your strive or I don't know, your makeup routine. So all of that, of course, boils down to just me saying that this space will be a space where I return myself and you guys back to Jesus in this personal, professional, and spiritual development as well. Number four, your girl is working very hard because I have this huge vision. God has made me a multi hyphenate. He's put all these hopes and wishes and dreams in your girl. Your girl is very much so, okay? A dreamer. And because of that, it's sometimes I have to learn how to manage my time, manage myself, get self-control. So on this space, you will also find information about how to take these bird's eye view. My former business partner talk about how I had an eagle eye view and I needed to like get down to the ants. So we'll talk a lot about time management in this space, execution, and like how to execute and be productive. And also we'll talk about effectiveness. So I have found that like there's a difference between productivity and effectiveness or efficacy. There are times in my life where I have been very productive, but not very like I didn't have a lot of efficiency to what I did. And so on this space, we'll talk about, you know, time management, efficacy, productivity, and yeah, execution and how to do those things that you know you should do and do them effectively and well. The last thing that you'll find here on the Confidence Quest, here with me, myself, Marquila, is genuine and honest desire to be the person that God showed me. Like I said, I'm a dreamer, I'm an entrepreneur, and in order to be that person, there are some very real things about my life that have to change. Including just like my money story and limiting beliefs. And so my poop, ladies and gentlemen, will be served here on a platter. If you are not a person who's like comfortable with like just transparency and honesty, like if your idea of like a YouTuber is like, very put together. I am a very put together person, but this is not the space for that. I really do want to use this opportunity that I have to show people the journey of my book and my business and my personal and professional development, and do it in a way that is very transparent and also very honest. And so we're going to be real truthful in this space, y'all. Okay. I'm a dreamer. I got big things. I got hopes and dreams. And in order for us to get anywhere, truth has to be in the room. So the fifth thing is that you can just expect for me to be very truthful and honest and maybe a little bit too transparent. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. This video is creeping past the time limit that I have for myself on these talks, but just know I'm grateful for you. I'm so thankful for the opportunity to even be an author and to be like doing all the stuff that I do. I don't take it for granted that God gives us the ability to be like him as a creator. And because we can step into our creative power, that we can step into God's provision for us, and we can live our lives developing and growing and feeling extremely connected to that renewal of the mind that God tells us about. So I love you. I appreciate you watching this video. And if you got all the way to the end here, you are a superstar and amazing person. Thank you so much. I will see you all very, very soon. I love you. God loves you. And the people who don't love you are none of your business. Have a great one, y'all.